Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Post Smart 2020 International Webinar Workshop on Intelligent Asset Management and Initiative for Tomorrow. We all know that the all capital intensive industries, including the mining industries, are now rapidly heading towards a risk based and data driven technology oriented systems for asset management. Hundreds of millions of dollars invested in asset will need advanced technologies and intelligent asset management for keeping the life cycle costs low. Hence, the international webinar Smart 2020 proposed a number of workshops, from which the first one is being held today on intelligent asset management, which initiates a well-documented system, remote sensing, data analytics, security and risk-based informed decision-making aspects. For this, first I would like to invite our convener of the Smart 2020 webinar, Professor Khanindra Pathak, Professor from Department of Mining Engineering, IIT Kharagpur, onto the dais. Secondly, I would request Professor A.R. Mahanti from Department of Mechanical Engineering to join us virtually as one of our key panelists. Professor Mahanti, if you are there, you can tell hello. Oh, he will be joining shortly. Then I would request Professor Raghuvir Pai from Manipal Academy of Higher Education, India, to join us as our panelist virtually. Professor Pai. Hello, Professor Pai. Welcome to this workshop. Then I would invite Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay from Federation University, Australia, who is present with us virtually. Professor Pai, if you can tell hello. Hello, Professor. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And okay. So, shall I introduce Professor Gibbs? Yeah. Yeah. So, next I would like to invite Dr. Anne Gibbs from Asset Management Council, Australia. So, if Dr. Gibbs is here, she can tell hello. She's not
Hi,
there.
Anne.
Hello, this is Anne. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We can't see you, Anne.
Yeah.
Hello.
You are hiding, Anne.
Hello, Dr. Gibbs.
We can see you now.
Welcome to this workshop. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Now I would like to invite Mr. Tapan Jena from I would request Professor Pathak to invite all other, yeah, okay. So, Mr. Tapan Jena to be our panelist today virtually and join us virtually. Mr. Jena, are you there? If you can tell hello. I think he just got disconnected. So, I would ask Professor Pathak to take over.
Hello everyone, I'm Tapan here. Hi.
Hi, Tapan.
Hello,
Yeah, good
hello
morning,
Mr.
good
Jain.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And I would request Professor Pathak to introduce our all other panelists and welcome them for this workshop.
Thank you, Professor Mishra. I think she is doing a great job from last 3 days in this webinar. And as our panel members are joining one by one, I can see here Amar Singh Shab. Please say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand here.
Okay, so how's going there, Tak Singh? And I also see here Kumaraswamy Shab, ex-CGM of Naval Lignite Corporation. And this as well, we are waiting for some more of our members to join. I cannot see whether our Professor Jarester Mighty, who is the head of the Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering, he will be joining.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, Professor Jarester Mighty is here. Then our Professor Samir Kumar Pal, who is HOD of Mining Engineering, he is expected to join. Is Professor Pal there? Then we will be having also a number of other persons from industry. I was told that maybe G.V. Chetyanarayana of Tata Steel, I don't know, he has not yet joined. So the main theme of this particular post-webinar workshop is on asset management, that is intelligent asset management, as we have said. And we are looking forward to the industry to go to the next level of performance. And for that, already the world has been practicing number of standards, and as Dr. Anne Gibbs here, who have been working with Australian Asset Management Council and developed this ISO 55000, 55001 and a series of standards. As such, our India is also very focused in the industry for safety, productivity, quality and environment. And there is a lot of our code of practices across the industries for their march towards excellence. However, as such, we are not having any of that sort of Indian standards for asset management. And as we know, and India is not a mining machinery manufacturing country, neither we are having a good base of any sophisticated instrumentation manufacturing. But in our industry, we have got a good number of assets with a very high capital investment. And many of these assets, not only the physical assets, we have got a lot of intellectual assets. And then we have got a lot of natural assets. As in the mining industry, we know that our main deposits is also an asset, and with time, we always, there is a depletion of assets in our natural assets, and then there are certain assets physically, they deteriorate with the impacts of the environment. Under all these conditions, how we exactly performing in the industry will be depending on how we are managing these assets. As we will be in this particular workshop, we have got one intention. Just like that it is there in the Australia and Asset Management Council. We had a conference in last January at Bangalore in initiatives from Federation University of Australia. Professor Chattopadhyay was coordinating in India in association with Manipal University, and where Australian Asset Management Council participated, and the participants there, they decided that there is a need and we can develop an asset management society in India. And with the participation of our Indian industry, then slowly we can move towards how standardization of this can be done in India. We have got a lot of land assets in our mining industry, in our railway, in our government departments. Those assets are also, we have not monetized. So monetization of assets that is dormant, which is not capitalizing anyway, that is also another aspect of it. Considering all these things, in this particular webinar, we had a very good quality discussions on maintenance of machinery, that management of environment, and there it came up that safety of in the industry is also one thing which is related with the upkeepment and management. So we also decided that we will be having a series of post-webinar workshops in 2021, where we decided that in the month of April, we may be having a workshop on safety of machinery. So in this way, this is the first post-webinar workshop on intelligent asset management. I don't know if some our friends from Lulia University, Professor Parida, I think whether he has joined, and there were a couple of persons from there. They also showed that they would be helping, and they will be, as our academic collaboration will be going with number of international institutions. There were Isha Mining, who were having with the movement for the zero approach for safety. They will be also participating and helping us. So I think it is a high time that we can go for an asset management society of India. So with this backdrop, this webinar, post-webinar workshop has been arranged. Now, I'll ask Sunita, she is exactly organizing and is telling that we are having. I asked her to come and sit on the dais, and also with us, Professor Shantanu Patel is there. So I request him also to come and sit on the dais. And our Professor Kaushik Dey is here. I also request him to come and sit on the dais. Other members of our IIT, they are joining online, and all panelists and the discussions are here on online. Now I will request Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay to start this post-webinar workshop, and then I request all the members and participants and panel members to join. After Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay, Professor Raghuvir Pai will be giving us a brief of how the initiatives have been taken because of our pandemic situations due to COVID-19. Certain things, as it was planned in the Bangalore workshop, could not take up. Now let us take a new initiative and go ahead with it. Over to Professor Chattopadhyay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
thank you, Professor Pathak, Professor Pai, Dr. Gibbs, and all these dignitaries within the short time coming down. And the asset management, I'll try to set the scene, what is asset management, because some of in this room might not have gone through.
I'm so
And then
sorry to
the key
interrupt.
element from the industries and the research perspective.
I'm so
how to
sorry to
balance the
interrupt,
cost,
Professor Chattopadhyay.
risk. Yes,
You can go on full screen mode.
screen.
Yes.
So I'm sharing my screen. Is that working or is not working?
No,
Yeah,
it's
we can see.
working, but what is happening? Like there is one
just-
display sitting on the top. So can you just, can you please change the screen? The second one, on top. Oh, no. Yeah, just beside that, yes.
Just a minute.
Yes, there. Yeah, swipe, yes.
Slide.
No, swipe presenter view, yeah.
So is that working? But I cannot see.
We cannot also see.
Okay, so
No. You can help.
So can you just, yeah, it's
Yep,
working now.
yep, you can see now, Gopi.
okay, you can see now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
fine.
full screen now.
All right. So balancing cost, risk, and performance is the major challenge for all capital-intensive industries. And then from the humble beginning, that started in 2014 when I was visiting professor in IIT, Professor Joyce Maiti, Professor P.K. Ray, team members from mining. We did that first initiative in Gold Park in Ramakrishna Mission with IIT and national level. Then Professor Pai visited here in Australia, and it took momentum, and the initiative along with Asset Management Council, IIT Kharagpur, Manipal University, and all these leading universities supported by even from Lulia University of Technology, Professor Parida, Professor Uday Kumar, and all of the friends and colleagues and professionals around the world that there is a need. So the future direction was for the formation of a society which will be a not-for-profit, and how to address the needs of the industries, universities, and supported by the professional bodies. So those who are not from this background, asset management related standards, which is ISO 55000 series of standards that looks into the values and potential values of the assets. Assets can be any item, anything, or entity. They may not be physical assets, can be entity. Now, asset management plays a significant role because whatever is the corporate objective, that needs to be articulated and supported. So how to retain the value and realize the value from the assets. So that is the main purpose. Now this asset management journey that starts from even the concept state of the assets. And then in terms of the procurement, installation, operation, maintenance, and dispose of those assets. So that is the whole of life cycle approach. So that is the complex process in the asset management. Now, when we are talking about the balancing cost, risk, and performance, the challenge is whose perspective, because majority of infrastructure and the publicly owned or licensed assets, there are the regulatory requirements. So one needs to comply with that. Then when coming into the organizational level, in the corporate sectors, they have their risk appetite, and based on that, it needs to be addressed. And in the asset level, it goes into nitty-gritty details where all these researchers, we are very good in terms of what is the reliability, availability, maintainability, safety. Along with that is coming this security issue in today's context. So the balancing act in some cases in terms of mandatory, and then when it comes into the area where corporates, they look into how they can reduce the cost, reduce the risk, at the same time enhance the performance, the technology, the system, the people issue, those are coming. And most important thing is that leadership and the culture. Though there are the technologies, but it is people who make it happen. So in this whole of life cycle, there are the shareholders' perspective, there are the corporate's own administrative and the business perspective, and then looking into the nitty-gritty details of how you deliver those things. ISO 55000 is being impressed, and it is utilized by many of the companies. It tells what needs to be done. It is a documented system. It's not the IT system. And the most important thing is that industries, they need to develop their own strategies and the tools and techniques and the technologies related to how they do that. So the standard doesn't tell how it can be done, and that is where the collaboration with the industries, universities, and the professional bodies helps to achieve those things. The future direction, what is coming in this area, there is a need for the collaboration. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Even in the early 2000s, there was a need in terms of safety engineering in IIT, and I came with the invitation, and we worked with the Tata Steel and other departments and some of the global experts. That was delivered. So these are the opportunities. There is upcoming opportunity coming for the Australia, India collaborative banks. So we are working with Manipal and IIT and the industry. So that will be for capability building. So there are the government funded, supported by the industries and professional bodies. Asset Management Council is also part of that. Then there is the continual improvement part, where in terms of the professional development, in terms of the postgraduate programs, and there are possibilities of the collaborations, along with the asset management society, which can provide this direction. And we are fortunate that Asset Management Council Australia is helping in terms of the affiliation from the global perspective, and whatever the knowledge is available, that can be available to the partners and the members. There is upcoming international conference on maintenance and intelligent asset management. The first one happened in 2020 in Bangalore. It was supported by industries, professional bodies, and universities. And the next one was supposed to be early part of this year, next year, but due to this COVID, it has been pushed back to September 2021. So these are the possibilities, and the objective is how to reduce the risk in the industries, enhance the safety, reduce the cost, and enhance the performance. So 4 of us, myself, Dr. Ann Gibbs, Professor Raghuvir Pai, and Professor Kharagpur Pathak, the key people in terms of collecting, bringing all these experts around the world who will be volunteering. This is going to be a not-for-profit organization. So we are we come here to give it back to the society, to make the world a better place. So how we can do that? It's not easy. It took since 2014 to here to come up to this stage, and many people contributed. So we don't have time to do that. But now we are in a decent shape where it can go to the next level. So my point is that all these improvement opportunities, what is there, we can help together. And main thing is that knowledge. It is people who will make a difference. And knowledge is important. And how we can achieve that. Good is not good enough in today's context. And that is why asset management can lead to the excellence, and it's a journey. So this is my suggestion, that with this humble journey, what is here, that can be a big platform, and Professor Pai can elaborate on this, that what are the steps in the future, and then Anne will talk about that, what are the support possible and what are the things happening in the global forum. Thank you.
Now I would request Dr. Anne Gibbs to give her presentation. She is the CEO of Asset Management Council Australia.
Yes, hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am, we cannot see yet. You have to share it.
Mhm.
You have not shared yet.
I don't think I know how to do that. Share screen. Share.
Yes, now we can see.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay.
And
All right.
we can go to full screen mode.
Full screen mode.
On top. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Well, thank you very much for making me part of the panel discussions today. I'm just going to briefly outline the three core objectives of the Asset Management Council and some opportunities for the Asset Management Society of India to be involved. So the Asset Management Council was born out of the Engineering Maintenance Society in the 1990s, when it was realised that maintenance was only part of the life cycle of an asset, with asset management being a business system with great potential to provide value and to improve society. So the Asset Management Council's first key objective is to strengthen our communities, and that's really by collaboration. Our members represent industry in forums, on panels, and in delivering industry standards and advancing the skills of workers. So the Asset Management Council found a group of like-minded associations in other countries and became part of the Global Forum in Maintenance and Asset Management. We participate in the Global Forum and have recently submitted a very detailed proposal and advice on the Global Forum's maintenance framework document. Now, the Global Forum's asset management landscape document is about to be reviewed, and there are opportunities for the Asset Management Society of India members to join with us here at the Asset Management Council in Australia to participate in this review. The ISO 55000 series of standards started to be developed by a group of about 28 member countries in the early 2000s. And it included a representative from India as well. And these were published in late 2014. So there's currently 4 standards documents in this series. The first one, 55,000, provides an overview and principles and terminology. 55,001 defines the requirements of a management system for asset management. And 55,002 was revisited in 2018, and it's around the guidelines for the application of ISO 55001. And then just last year, at the end of last year, ISO 55010, a guidance on the alignment of financial and non-financial functions of asset management, was published. So reasons for implementing an asset management system vary from business to business, and compliance to ISO 55001 is not always the best reason to apply for certification. But we are finding that it's becoming more common to align a business to this standard, and that government in Australia is starting to mandate certification to ISO 55001. Now, we can really only judge the uptake of 55001 by how many certificates have been issued to people and reported to the TC 251 committee. If we have a look here at this graph, we can see that there were 306 recorded ISO 55001 certificates from 46 countries, with the electricity and the water sector being quick to be on the uptake of these certifications, with the transport and facilities sectors quite close behind. But of note is that the mining and resource sector are actually using the certifications and being certified. It's also interesting to note that even though we had COVID-19 throughout 2020, there was a 25% increase in the uptake of people being certified to ISO 55001. So there's a dedicated website, ISO TC251, which provides some really useful information about all aspects of asset management, and that's something that you all might find useful. The second objective of the Asset Management Council is around sharing experiences and knowledge. When the Asset Management Council was formed, the organisation set about to develop some models and frameworks to support asset management and developed the AMBOK, the Asset Management Body of Knowledge, which is now a body of articles that's kept on our website, and it's available to members to access to assist them in their work. We formed chapters in each of our states, so local members could get together and share knowledge and experiences, and provided an opportunity to all to come together. And we do that at the Asset Management Peak Conference, AMP. And in April 2021, AMP will be delivered as a hybrid event, meaning that there are opportunities for the Asset Management Society of India members to attend virtually and also participate. So in sharing knowledge and experiences, the Asset Management Council can also keep track of industry trends and current sector issues. All of the societies in the Global Forum recognise that there's a difference between managing assets and asset management. And during 2020, the impact of the worldwide COVID-19 health catastrophe has affected movement of people, which has affected the way we use some of our physical assets and then how we manage and operate those assets. Infrastructure Australia released last week a report showing the impact of COVID-19 on the resilience and adaptability of infrastructure, and predicted the likely way ahead for transport, water, electricity and housing. In the mining sector, COVID-19 has accelerated the use of risk-based decision-making and the use of technology to enable remote working. It looks like there's going to be more innovation in the use of technology for management of assets in the mining sector. During 2020, the Asset Management Council used webinars as a means of connecting with members and the asset management community. We partnered with Federation University to deliver a virtual RAID, or that's Research and Industry Day, and we held weekly webinars sharing technical knowledge and experiences in asset management. The virtual platform makes participation of the Asset Management Society of India members in Asset Management Council events much easier, although there still is the time difference that's sometimes problematic. Now, the third objective of the Asset Management Council is to build capacity and capability, both for organisations and for individuals. For organisations, we have an asset management maturity tool where organisations can review their asset management system, find gaps in their system, and then work out plans to increase their performance and have a performance improvement plan. We've also developed an individual certification scheme, and this is in 4 levels. And this provides a career-long learning for a 4-stage certification scheme that can be completed online. And this is also open to Asset Management Society of India members. The certification scheme is aligned to the global certification scheme through the World Partners in Asset Management. So it's recognised across countries, and it comes with credentials such as CPAM and CSAM. So just in conclusion, we see our collaboration with the Asset Management Society of India and research hubs of Federation University and various other universities in India, assisting in strengthening the global asset management community, providing opportunities to share knowledge and experience, and a platform to build capability and capacity in asset management. So together, as Gopi has said, we can make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gibbs. Now I would like to invite Professor Aditya Parida from Lulia University to share his views on smart asset management. Professor Parida, if you are there, if you can tell hello.
Hello, Sunita. Very good morning.
Very
A
good
very
morning,
warm
sir.
greetings to all of you from the cold and sub-zero Sweden. It is very early morning here, but I will start. This is a very interesting thing, and my congratulations and thanks to all the initiative by Professor Pai, Gopi, and Professor Khanindra Pathak, and all others. Actually, I'll start like this. I've been teaching asset management as my curriculum, and especially I've been conducting PhD courses in 2010. And I was following very closely. I mean, I'm also a member of AMC from Sweden. I've been getting all their newsletters, and I can say that Dr. Gibbs, Anne, your MC workshops and your materials are fantastic, and they are really, really, MC Australia is doing a fantastic job. So in 2014, when the AMC, the ISO 55 standard came, 2015, I was in India, and I was trying to see something should come up in India. That is where I met the CII. There is under CII, Confederation Association of Industry in India, there is a asset management group, and there is a chairman also. So I specifically went and met him, but unfortunately I found they're not doing anything, and it was they're not doing things in a professional way. And then of course I've been discussing with Gopi and my other colleagues, but then since I'm in Sweden, and I was thinking that somebody from India should take the lead. Now, coming to the association, I have 2-3 issues, and I think Dr. Anne has already said that we, of course, have to have a good organization, bylaws, and SOPs. First of all, for the organization, how we are going to do it, what sort of thing. Second, as regarding the standards, Gopi has already said, we don't have to reinvent wheel. So already international standards are there. Like I can give example. There are various international standards, and for Sweden, we are having our Swedish standards. And then industries are making their own standard based on both of these. And then and from the industry, like I can give you example for ISO 55000, the European Union, they develop a standard for the railway. And I was one of the reviewer of their standards. So EU made a standard for railway, and from EU standards, the Swedish railway made a standard for Swedish railway. So similarly for mining, for other industries that can follow. And as Dr. N has already said, workshop and training, that is knowledge, skill, because what should be our aim? Our aim of this association, to my mind, should be to sharing the best practices between the industry, academia, and countries all over the world, so that it is a win-win situation and for overall growth and prosperity, so that we can give back to the society and all those things. So there are various standards. And also I must mention that I was part of we have a EFNMS, European Federation of National Maintenance Society. So I was the secretary for the PhD and Master Thesis Award Committee. And also we have been having our KPIs for the performance measurement. So I was member of the KPI committee. And then in that, we are also involved with GFM AM and also SMRP of USA. So we have been, there are various things that can be done under this uh, association. So how to go about it and what to do? My point is we should, it's a very good start and I must congratulate everyone. Standards are there. Various countries are doing. Australia is doing a fantastic job and Australia Maintenance Management Council, they have done they're leading in a way. And similarly in Europe also, various countries have. And in our case, the EFNMS, European Federation of National Maintenance Society, they're a European body and there are 26 member countries. So, and they're having a biannual workshop. And then through this association, we can have certification courses and in various stages, like AMC is following. And that is where we can help the industry and these courses, because if people can do the basic courses in asset management, and then they can do the level 2, level 3, level 4, various standards. And for the industry people, I mean, like they can be given certification, and industry can be a very good partner in this. And so it could be a win-win situation. So that's broadly, I mean, what I can think of at this moment. I'm sorry I haven't prepared any slide because I was not asked to do that. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you, Professor Parida. Without slides as well, we could understand your views that you have put forth and how this asset management council can be formed and how they work. So next I would request Mr. Tapan Jena from Tata Steel to give his views on asset management and how it is working in his company. So Professor Jena.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you are
Yes.
audible.
Welcome, Mr. Jena.
So a warm greetings to all of you, including Dr. Gopi, Dr. Ani, and Dr. Parida, and with Professor Pathak and all the team members from IIT KGP and abroad and from India, and all my colleagues also from Tata Steel and all the companies. So as Dr. Gopi, Dr. Parida, and all of and Dr. Ani also presented regarding some of the key aspects of asset management. Okay, and as we know that the sweating of assets is the need of the hour in the competitive mining scenario right now. So my views, okay, there's a long way to go. We should share our best practice. Already we are having some adopting some of the best practices, and but the type I think the quality of I think in all these are all should be data driven. Okay, and the data quality also plays a very important role to identify the right KPI. So what sort of right KPI we should identify for the all these assets irrespective of its capacity. That means how it can be compared from one industry among the industries. And suppose for mining industries, whether it is in Australia or in India, how can we compare the what should be the right KPI basically? So that is one of the area I think we should focus. And as for Tata Steel, we are practicing some of the also best practices are there. That means we have already implemented a fleet management system, and we have started this data driven practices that we are slowly gradually moving to predictive maintenance. I think that is the need of the hour right now. So I look forward to all the panel members and all the Professor Pathak, so that we can share our some of the best practices elsewhere in the world, so that to enrich our knowledge in this area, particularly asset management. So that I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jena. Now I would request Professor Raghuvir Pai from Manipal University to give his views on the asset management aspects that we face in India and how is it in India. Professor
Yeah,
Pai.
yeah. Thank you. Uh, yeah, I think I must thank my previous speakers for. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I think I must thank my previous speakers for giving an overview of asset management. Professor Pathak, Dr. Gopi, Dr. Ann, Professor Parida, Mr. Jena, and others who will join later maybe. Hello. Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, Professor Pai, you are audible. Oh, you are sharing the screen. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see my screen now.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
Professor
see.
Pai.
Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, this initiative started a couple of years ago, and Gopi did mention it started back in 2014, but it probably picked up steam in the last 1 year when we had the first asset management conference, I think, on intelligent asset management in Bangalore. And during that time, we had a panel discussion that we should have a asset management society India. And of course, after that, because Professor Pathak did mention that because of the COVID situation, we couldn't do much. But now I think the conference Smart 2020, I must thank Professor Pathak for this initiative of having this post-conference panel discussion on how to go about Asset Management Society India. Uh, we have done some groundwork with the help of Asset Management Council and of course Dr. Gopinath Chattopadhyay. Uh, we have a document which is the Constitution of Asset Management Council that was shared by Dr. Ann Gibbs. And uh, broadly or roughly, some rules, association bylaws have been written, but they have not been filed yet because we have to register to work as a society. And this panel discussion is in that direction, so that people in academics and industry, we form a core group and then move forward in developing the Asset Management Society India. Now, I have an outline which is vision, mission, objectives, membership, future directions, and of course the contact for the council right now or the society right now. The vision, mission, of course, I have roughly put this, but yes, we have to do an internal discussion with the members. It has to come from bottom up, is what I believe. Uh, and then have a vision and mission for the Asset Management Society India. But roughly now I would say it is lead the asset management practices in the country for the benefit of the community. And the mission would be to provide professional services of the highest standard for a strong and a mature organization. and above will be put to test, and opinion of all stakeholders will be taken to evolve the vision and mission for AMSI. Now, the objectives that we have here has been framed, but always, debate and change this depending on the inputs from the core committee and the members. Sustain and enrich the maintenance engineering and asset management skills of management practitioners and organizations, encourage excellence in practice of maintenance engineering and asset management, encourage practitioner involvement in and contribution to activities of the Society for Lifelong Learning and continual professional development of members, enable linkages at national and international levels for asset management practitioners, researchers, young professionals, and communities of practice. And then facilitate active participation from other professions and disciplines, inspire research and strengthen the knowledge in maintenance engineering and asset management, be involved and contribute to the policy setting and asset management knowledge practices at national and international levels, and support the community and encourage members to be socially responsible. Now, the membership that we have thought of is individual members, corporate members, and student members, or such other class as may be determined from time to time by the society. The class to which a member belongs is herein referred to as their status. Now, the future directions would be to form a core committee of professionals working in asset management, maintenance, and tribology. Plan for an online meeting of the core committee in the next few days or weeks to chalk out the strategic initiatives of the society. Plan for an online training course for courses for academics, industry professionals, and students. And this online course can be started today because almost everything is done online because of the COVID situation. And as and when we form the society, we can immediately start some of the online training programs. And I would seek the help of Asset Management Council Australia in pursuing this online training program. And then, as Professor Pathak and Professor Parida were mentioning about standards being adopted by different countries and different areas, I think we should also look at some of these standards for the Indian situation based on ISO 55000 series, and also draw from the experience of Asset Management Council Australia. And we already have a cooperation going on between Australia and India, uh, especially when we had this conference. We had quite a few participants, not only from India, but both from industry and academic, and also from Australia, New Zealand, and other countries. Asset Management Council in Australia is a NFP professional association, and it's a technology society of and with the Engineers Australia. The corporation has been formed to share professional activities, research in asset management, and AMSI will be a membership-based, not-for-profit organization, and of course, that means we would all be volunteering to work in this association. And the contact details, Dr. Gopinath Chattopadhyay already put this up earlier. Right now, I think these are the people. And thank you, and hope to hear from you with your kind support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Pai. You have already set a vision for us so that we can go ahead for Asset Management Council India. Yes. So now I would request Professor B.B. Mandal, who is a faculty and associate professor in the Department of Mining Engineering, IIT Kharagpur, to give his views on the asset management. Professor Mandal, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody, once again.
Good morning.
It's
Good
a
morning.
privilege to join the panel, and it was really enlightening for me to listen to Professor Gopinath Chattopadhyay and from Australia Asset Management Council. Hello. And Mr. Raghuvir Pai, I was listening to him also. I missed a couple of speakers because there was a power failure here and the network stopped working. I somehow connected. Basically, I worked about 23 years in mining industry. So that is one reason why probably I have been here, and I was listening every words, whatever I could from this. And I understand the importance of the asset management there. From my point of view, it would be a little specific towards mining, rather a little biased towards mining, in the sense that this industry where we work are mostly remotely located. And even though the internet has reached, but the physical things do not reach in time at all. And as far as I understand that the asset management concepts, right from the beginning, it was much more, connected with the shares and portfolios in finance management. Now it is good to see that how it has grown and how it has encompassed almost all spheres of our life. That is a very interesting part, very interesting development in asset management. So what I have seen, the roadmaps are there, and it's good to see that we are going to form this asset management association in India also. We'll be happy to be part of that. My view is that the management school should be actively participating or collaborating with the this kind of asset management, because this is very, very important. And at the same time, industry oriented trainings, or rather consultancy, should be part right from the beginning so that we can practice it. We must practice it. And we also should develop certain products from the Asset Management Association. The products are like, I will suggest some plug-in dashboards. I have been with the ministry for quite some time. So we developed certain dashboards where you can see the asset management options there directly, and you can send queries, you can get information, and you can update also. So it should be compatible with a wide variety of platforms. It should be easily a plug-in device to the most of the ERPs of many companies. So if it is a mining company, one module can be developed, one dashboard can be developed, which can be easily plugged in to the ERP system of the existing company for the purpose of asset management. So the products also we can develop, and that would be, I think, a very good thing from our side. That is in the beginning my opinion and my suggestion, and I hope we'll be doing well and seeing so many important personalities here. Definitely, we wish a very fine growth in near future. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak on this panel. Thank you, Professor Pathak and the team.
Thank you, Professor Mandal. Now I would request Professor Ashutosh Sarkar from IIM Kozhikode to give his views. Professor Sarkar, you there? Okay, so next, I think he's not, okay, he's here. Hello, Professor Sarkar, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, respected panel members. So I am delighted and very, very thankful that I have Especially my special thanks to Professor Khanindra Pathak and Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay, who have actually persuaded me to attend this session. And in fact, my interaction with Professor Pathak and as well as Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay uh, on the subject of asset management has been quite long. In fact, on one occasions, I also had the opportunity to invite both Professor Pathak as well as Professor Chattopadhyay to IIM Kozhikode and share their views on aspects of asset management as well as the different applications in the mining industry, which Professor Pathak actually shared in one of the sessions, and all the audiences liked it. So I being from a business school, I actually find very little scope in terms of application or rather getting an audience, good audience from the subject of asset management point of view. But during my some, you can say, long association with the industry in terms of organizing different training programs as well as doing a lot of consultancies, in a few of them, including with Professor Pathak, uh, we realize that asset management is very important in India, and especially when we talk of, say, manufacturing organization, not just mining industries. Uh, the state of asset management is practices are very poor. So from that perspective, I see not only huge scope, but also it is actually a requirement for Indian organizations, especially in the manufacturing sector, for them to focus and achieve excellence in asset management. And I am actually happy to know that there is an effort in terms of uh, organizing the like-minded people to organize into a full-fledged society and taking the cause of asset management uh, to its next level in India. And I wish all the best to the initiators of this proposal, as well as in whatever way uh, is possible. I will be always ready to help the society, and I'll also try to get few of the like-minded people, especially in the IM system, to get on this job. There are a lot of people in the IM systems who are actually having a lot of interest in these areas, and also share a background, especially in industrial engineering, asset management, and a large bunch of people who are there in the IMs, especially in reliability engineering. So they can definitely contribute in the process, or the cause that you have said. So with this, I'm very thankful for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Thank you, and all the best to the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Sarkar. It's really give us a big impetus with persons and professors like the caliber of Professor Asutosh Sarkar. If he is there at our back, I am very sure these initiatives which have started, it is really going to bring a new movement in our industry and academics and management world. So I really please give him a big hand for welcoming Professor Asutosh Sarkar. Now, similarly, we are having some number of other professors. I can see in the panel, I think Amar Singh is there. Then I saw Professor M. Bora, Mukul Bora, are you there? Professor? Uh,
Yes, I am here. I am here.
Okay. So may I have briefly, because we are running short of time, but we will be asking all the members present here, because it is an association of all these like-minded people, and we need to think of how it can be there. and that it is really a good starting has been given, and I very thankful for our Anne is there to as a guide. So I think we are going ahead. Thank you. Professor Bora, please.
So many thanks to the organizer, Pathak sir. I know him since so many years, and some other eminent personalities are there. Of late, whatever we have done, at least some good things are coming up in India, because we created a lot of assets which become scrap after a few years of time, and we do not have the management practices at all. And at least this much of I can say that by visiting all the institutions of the Northeast India, that assets are created, crores of machines are procured, but after a few years of time, it becomes obsolete or it becomes malfunctioning or non-functional, and due to which a lot of money, public money has been wasted. And if this type of machines could be managed or maintenance in proper time, then it will give a big boost to our economy, not only in terms of development, but in terms of financial savings. Coming to the industry, I have also worked in construction industry for 6 years in Kolkata and different parts of the country. And there also I have seen that the machines are used in such a way that the profits are more or less, whatever it may be, but machines are not properly maintained and it is not properly used. So it is not the case that machines can be procured if I have got the money. But thing is that where from the raw materials will come, like mining of steels, irons, etc., etc. These are all natural resources which is going to perish after a few years of time. So if this type of initiative and this particular platform has been created, and I am confident that this, I know few personalities, but I know Ashutosh personally, I know Kaninda Pathak sir personally. So if we, along with other dignitaries or the eminent personalities, take this issue forward, then definitely it will be great help for a country like India, where we only create resources, but no maintenance, no asset maintenance. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity in this right platform in right time. Although it is late, but I am telling that it is right time. So thanks to the organizer, thanks to Professor Pathak, and thanks to other dignitaries that we should come forward and we should work in a congenial way as a whole, and work for the development of the country to save crores of rupees, crores of public money, which has wasted due to poor maintenance of the assets and everything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Bora. It was really nice that you have come and you have given your views on it. Now, I would request Professor Amar Singh from New Zealand to speak something on this. Professor Amar Singh? Okay. Now, I would request Mr. Kumar
Amar
Swami.
is there, but he is muted.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you, but we cannot see you. So if you can turn your video and audio.
No, he is
No,
visible.
it's already there. I can see that. I can see
No,
everything.
both video and audio are on.
Now it
No
is
problem.
okay.
That's okay.
Proceed,
Thanks,
talk.
thanks for everyone. Sorry, I'm Singh. I'm from New Zealand. What I wanted to do is I want to share probably my experience working here in New Zealand last 25 years in asset management. And I think one of the things that's what we learned working in both Australia and New Zealand, and that's what maybe India needs to think that as well. In New Zealand, we started asset management in 1997, and I think it's, and that's what maybe India needs to be very careful as well, because it's driven by the regulatory. We started with the Local Government Act amendment, all right? And same thing, if you're looking in Australia, probably last 15 years, Australia were, especially local government, they were finding hard to implement the asset management practices. Whereas in New Zealand, because there is no state government, it's one government across the whole country. So it's the one Local Government Amendment Act, and that's made mandatory for every council to start with the asset management journey. All right. So same thing maybe in India, you need to look at that as well. In Australia, I'm working same thing probably last 20 years. And in Victoria now, this year, Local Government Act 2020, and that's made now mandatory for every organization to start asset management. So that's what I think we have learned lesson, and maybe we can share that knowledge that the last 25 years working in Australia, New Zealand, and India. You need to think that I know that even Manipal University, IIT Kharagpur, you guys trying um, to lead probably the asset management in India. But my experience working here last 25, 26 years in Australia, New Zealand, that it won't work unless until we have some sort of regulatory or mandate. And that's what you guys need to involve probably the central government or state government, probably part of this journey. Otherwise, I know the mining industry is going one side, but then you need to look probably the water, wastewater, transport, um, all other industries. And in Australia and New Zealand, that's how you need to look at. We got only one the standard for all infrastructure, whether it's mining or electricity or gas or um, water, wastewater, transport, everything. It's one asset management standard. And as Mr. Pai was saying, you don't need to invent the new wheel in India. You don't need new asset management standard. You already got ISO 55000 standard. What you need is something what we have done in New Zealand. You need guidelines. All right. For example, this is a specific to New Zealand we developed, which is a predicting modeling optimized decision making guidelines. We got another one is, for example, how you manage your contracts or projects, contract management guidelines. So what you need is you need country specific guidelines, and the guidelines and the Bible is ISO 55000 now. So ISO 55000 standard become international standard everywhere, whether it's Australia, it's New Zealand or India, everywhere it's one standard. But what you need to do is you need to customize the guidelines to provide every organization saying, okay, this is how we're going to implement the asset management. I think this is what probably my view, being a practitioner working in both Australia and New Zealand last 25, 30 years. And that's probably, I can say that what lesson we have learned implementing asset management practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Amar Sahab. It is really great to see you after say almost a year, and I'm highly impressed the way it is done in New Zealand. We need a similar move, and as Professor Bora has said that exactly there is a lot of crores of rupees are getting wasted, and by this association of asset management society, we can create thousands of job for our graduate engineers who exactly could not earn some very good career ready skill or competency in the colleges. They can be trained and made to, if the district administrations under that, they have got so many state government departments, each department has got so many assets. So that means $1 million, say for example, when we say by 2030 we will be having 1.5 billion this our populations, and then the number of people in the age group of 22 to 24, and we do not have that much of job creation or competency skill development by none of the engineering colleges. So this society can lead to a very good value addition to some of the just after the school taking out the new education policy, when we will be giving them this multiple entry and multiple exit, when we'll club with that, this society can train millions of our asset assessor, and that could be creating a lot of job while they will be saving crores of rupees, as Professor Bora said. That is the vision of our asset management society. But with this,
I agree with you, Mr. Barak. I fully agree with you. But what we need to, I mean, that's what I'm sharing my sort of experience, 30 years working in asset management industry in Australia and New Zealand. So we need somewhere the driver. So if you go, for example, if you go irrigation department in Rajasthan, let's say I'm from Jaipur or I originally. So if you go irrigation department, they will say why we should implement asset management practices. So they need the driver. For the driver for Australia and New Zealand, statutory or mandatory requirement, which sets the minimum level of services. And when you set the minimum level of service, there is a requirement, and then you need to set somewhere incentive sign. If you improve your, for example, in Australia, water industry, there are incentives. So if you have a good asset management practices, and it's same thing in Victoria, like the local councils.
Yeah.
If you want to increase from, there is a rate capping. They can't increase the council rates more than 2.5 to 3%. And if you need more money, let's say you wanted to increase, Melbourne City Council wants to increase rates 5%. And for that, they need good asset management plans. So they need good asset management practice to justify their expenditure. So that's why I'm saying you need somewhere drivers. So I agree with you. It's a asset incentive intensive organization in India, but we need somewhere the drivers. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you. This is, I think, very good point, and exactly when we are having with us developed country like Australia, and then experienced people like this Annie, and then as our friends, and number of our this ones, our NRIs, they can really come forward to create this national call. But now I'd like to request our friend Kumaraswamy to give his comments. We will be running short of time, but yes, we have got couple of speakers I have seen. Kumaraswamy, please.
Good morning, and it's very nice. What I find from the panel discussion, it is a need of the hour. The reason being, energy production is very competitive because of this upcoming solar projects and wind energy projects. Now, coal and lignite companies have to look for this asset management. We have something like ISO certification, health, safety, and environment. We don't have the structured asset management that is very much needed. Another area is that human labor cost or employees cost is now it is 33 to 36% of the total production cost. So human resource also an asset should be properly utilized and managed. That's also very important. We have the proper recovery program, even check for drilling after the coal or lignite is exposed. The quantity and quality is managed for a better PLF. All put together, we need such kind of asset management for lignite and coal mines. This is my opinion. I want to continue. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. Nice to meet all the great personalities.
Thank you. So, is our Professor A.R. Mahanti there? Professor Mahanti? I think he's not there. I think we have got Sir Mighty. Professor Mighty, are you there? Professor Mighty?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay, so I request you to briefly put your point, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Professor Pathak, and also Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay, Dr. Anne, and others. Actually, I am not, we have earlier interactions with this particular aspect. From today's discussion, I found that a lot of development have taken place. And from the topics point of view, it is now emerging. But I'll be interested to if the quality aspects also is added in the within the asset management perspective. Basically, what is my belief is that safety, maintenance, reliability, productivity, all those things are important. Risk as well as and other aspects, but performance. But quality is another important aspect. Basically, from the discussion, I found that this quality aspects is not discussed as far as today's discussion is concerned. Today's panel discussion is concerned. Because probably say quality, reliability, and safety there and maintenance, they are very much closely connected. So probably this is one. And second, what I may want to tell you that from our Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering Analytics at IIT Kharagpur, so that point of view, I will take only 1 minute of time to explain basically this aspect. Basically, this is basically a new center. This is which was established in this year in 2016 in July, and this basically to cater the needs and requirements of the nation, particularly from the industry as well as public safety point of view. There are several verticals include from the industrial safety to public safety, in between mine safety, agricultural farm safety, oil, gas, chemical safety, road safety, transportation safety, construction safety, manufacturing safety, and MSME, that is micro, small, and medium enterprises safety point of view. We have several thematic areas starting from your hazard identification and risk assessment, then prevention through design, then safety management, disaster management, human factors and ergonomics, behavioral safety, safety culture, safety economics, and then occupational health, also fire safety, cyber physical system safety and security. And our basic aim is basically to to develop primarily the software as well as related products standards in the different aspects of the safety engineering and analytics, and use in India from the different for different industries. And we want to become data driven, that's why the analytics word is given. So as you all of you know that now artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, internet of things, then your autonomous robots, simulation, epidemiology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and several human sensing technologies are there, which are effectively, which can be effectively used in safety engineering analytics. But in fact, this can be effectively used in all kind of asset
Maite, yes,
management.
please. We
So
are.
the and one another 30 second I want, because what I thought that we can this center can be a hub for asset management in a asset management point of view at IIT Kharagpur. I think Professor Pathak will be elaborating a little more in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Maite. Yes, our new initiative with the Center of Excellence is fine. Yes, we are talking here of the Asset Management Society and the Industrial Asset Management, which is an inclusive, many of the things. We do not go by the hypes of the terminology coming from the computer world. We go by the problems and then to find out a solution for generation of jobs and solving the problems of the country. We will be going with, and in that, the solutions, tools, all these things will be coming. So when we talk about the asset management, all aspects will be coming. We will be having lot of debates, lot of things in the coming year, and then first we'll have to register our society, and then we'll have to go ahead. If Professor Mahanti, our head of mechanical engineer, or if then we have got our Dean of Vizisom. I asked Professor P.K. Rai if he is there, who is one of our persons who has dealt in asset management for a long time, and then I learned many things of asset management from my friend Professor Rai. Is he there, or is Professor Rai there? Professor Rai, if you are there, can you just come in before I invite any other members present? If you can put your views, because it is a really a good brainstorming we are doing over here to get, I know that Professor Pai will be noting it down in while he is just drafting our main exactly the what type of documents we'll have to prepare for registering this society. And we are looking forward to, like as Mr. Jena is there from the industry, like that people from industry, if any others are there in the panel or in the attender, we will be having more interactions with the industry. Will have to come forward with industry and established councils like Asset Management Council of Australia, with there at the back, and then our initiative and interests are there, and guideline of all those who have got experience in New Zealand, in Sweden, and we have got some people in Spain, and this also in Germany. They have done some their experiences. Then this society should take up for our problems of empowering India with our creation of job, and then monetization of our assets, and value for the future businesses. That means in the beginning, we may not be going for a very high-end research and publications of papers and things like that, but we will be implementing, and then our research and publications and all will be coming out of those implementations. So we'll be making a little bit of reverse engineering in this, and we're looking forward to that. But is there Professor Rai there? Then I'll request again Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay if he wants to say something.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Gopi.
Okay. So thank you very much. I think it was very effective discussion. I just want to take 2 minutes to address some of the issues raised. I fully support what Amar has suggested, that it comes from the mandatory regulatory requirement, the drive. And also it requires the leadership and change in culture, which has been addressed by Professor Parida and Professor Pathak. I can share one thing. When these things happened in Australia, I was in the maintenance engineering society long time ago. And then gradually industry, they were driving. Universities were also providing the platform. And the first government initiative from the Asset Management Council happened in Brisbane. Fortunately, I initiated that one, and all these director generals in the Queensland and from Victoria and New South Wales, they came together and they started talking seriously through the Asset Management Council that how they can learn from each other and do better. I fully support Professor Maithi's point. Safety and security is becoming huge part. So in terms of the physical assets, what we are talking about, the financial assets, the information assets related to the people asset, what the universities are talking about, and the non-tangible assets like the reputation of the organization. All these are important, and that will drive. I can request and to share how from that 2012 in terms of journey, bringing all these, the government entities together, and it has now become a serious thing. The society in Australia is bringing them, and it is working. So, and can you please take 1 or 2 minutes to help understand, because there were all these hard questions, and there are some of the things what we have done, it can tell how it can be done, but it takes time, because the journey started more than 12, 13, 18 years ago, and now we are here. So, and then we'll give it back to Professor Patel. Please, Anne.
Yes, it is fully very well said that exactly the assets can be used only when it is safe, when it is maintained, and when it has got quality, and when it is not creating any environmental problem. So that's why, as I fully agree with that point of Professor Mighty, that all these things are the pillars on which the roof is the asset management. We can think that it is our the house of assurance. That house of assurance has got these 4 pillars as quality, safety, this reliability, all these things. So that is an on-inclusive. Now, our immediate point of concern is, as I see Mr. Ashish Shah is there, is Ashish's opinion.
Professor Pathak, can I speak?
Oh yes, Professor Ashish Bhattacharya is there. Yes, please.
Yeah, I joined a little bit late,
Yeah.
Because what I could, hear from Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay, yesterday he was also there and all that. And in fact, I could hear Professor Singh and then Mr. Kumarasamy, and then finally, of course, I could hear from Jharesh sir. See, basically, we have to look at this asset management from 2 perspectives, as some of them they already said, One is the physical asset, another is the human asset. That is very, very important. See, we always get concerned about, the physical assets, availability in the management. Like yesterday, we heard from, the Boss Technology Solution, which is being utilized by one of the companies, that, IQEMS, and they are implementing that, to different mines. One of their, the Boss Technology Solution of asset management. So I think we should explore, how the Boss Technology Solution, in fact, we should look at their, the way they are approaching, because it is being implemented in different mines. Some of the mines that they are doing. And as Maiti has very correctly pointed out, we have to look at, as Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay has also said, the financial aspect. What is the risk involved, or how we can, reduce the risk, by properly addressing this asset management aspect. Because let me tell you, my 5 years of experience working with in vibration studies of, the Tata Steel mines, at Noamundi and, the West Bokharo and all that, it is the main problem that we find. The major problem, the operators, they complain about all the heavy earth moving machineries, that they are creating lot of problems. And the mine management authority, because they do not have a proper asset management, they ignore these problems. And finally, the sufferers become the workers, whose health is being sacrificed. So it is not only from the physical aspect, but also from the, the health aspects of the workers, which is basically the biggest asset. Whatever, whether we talk of, any this thing, we must keep in mind, human resource is the biggest asset, as Mr. Kumarasamy has also said. So I feel, they need to be properly addressed, and we have to get into the risk management. What is the, the risk reduction we can have if we have a proper asset management. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhattacharya. As a pioneer of our country in safety and risk, I think he has said a very important word. And I take it like this, that no asset is an asset without human asset. Because without human asset, the monetization of asset will never come. And then neither the utilization of asset come without human asset. So I think it is a very important point raised, that no asset is asset without human asset. So with this note, exactly, we are running out of time also. And that if anyone wants to bring out some comments, but we need to get a working plan from now onward. I request all the members present here. It is an important day for us in our 70th year of celebrations of our IIT, when we are marching towards our Platinum Jubilee 5 years ago ahead. So by the time when we will be celebrating 75th year, we will be having a full-fledged asset management society in India to serve our country. And for that, let this more than 25 members who are present here, and I don't know, I have not seen how many are there in the YouTube and Facebook. So may I request all of you, please just drop few lines of your opinion to Professor Raghuvir Pai, who volunteered and who has been really working hard to prepare the initial documents that will be required for registering our society. Once the document is ready, the draft, we will be circulating to all these members and also to the member whom you will be suggesting. That is from industry and other academics and other important who may contribute, because you know better. So those names and their email contacts and your suggestions, if it is coming to Professor Raghuvir Pai, then some of you who are willing to be in our initial core committee, so that we can discuss amongst us for the procedure to go ahead with the registration process. And then let us make a target, that is in 2021 January, a new year, there may be in a suitable date and time, we can have just like this, a online meeting to finalize the draft that Professor Pai will be circulating. And then on that day, we form our whatever the draft permits as the executive body members and things like that, what are the portfolios required and come. And in that, we will be having from the very beginning a core dynamic international advisor group in which also that our international friends will be coming as a permanent association with our this asset management society. And then regarding the mode of actions and all whatever is required, that also can be brought into. So that means today's this webinar as a or workshop as a post-webinar workshop of our Smart 2020. We are looking forward to a smart future, maybe that our data-driven future, that word that Professor Mighty has very correctly used, that our future decisions will be a data-driven decisions where all those things that how the other terminology of computer science comes or the recent technology development terminology come, we may be using in our way. Exactly, I have thought that this asset management society will be maintaining a dossier of industrial problems. We don't go for the solutions, we'll go by the problems. I consider always it is better to have that is our a portfolio of problems of whether it is of railway, whether it is of the district health administrations or education system. If we have a asset management society of India maintain a dossier or portfolio of problems for which there will be the people who can contact there, search the problems, and there will be the creativity and innovators wing. Our creators and innovators, that creativity and innovation wing of the asset management society will be periodically meeting on allocating the problems to different brainstorming groups. And from there, as Professor Mandal was telling, that some of the products also will be coming because acquiring the data will be the most important thing for the data, that is data-driven management. If we are to do a data-driven management, the procedure and measurements to take the data will be very, very important. So keeping all these things view, I hope that if any other members are there in that panel and our guests, that if you want to say something, you can speak. Otherwise, I will be asking our Professor Sunita Mishra to bid the vote of thanks. From my side, I really more than thank from my bottom of heart that when I see such enthusiasm and approach and something which is not there. My job, always I appreciate, let us try for doing something which is not there because it is the unseen and unknown where is the opportunity lies for tomorrow. And let us prepare for that tomorrow. With this note, I request if anyone is there, may please put your comments. Thank you very much.
Okay. If anyone would like to speak anything on this asset man, yeah. If you can tell hello, you can come forward and you can speak on this issue.
Okay.
Professor Mandal. Yes.
Yeah. I think I have given one line in chat box. Thank you very much. Now, what I said that once you have the vision, we have also the mission, and definitely I would just suggest that once this association is formed, we must have a time-bound roadmap, time-bound, task-oriented roadmap for the members of this association, so that we can efficiently and timely contribute in the growth of the society for the overall benefit of the industry and society at large. Thank you.
Exactly. We should have.
And can you give some concluding remarks and then your suggestions to our initiative? Anu, please.
Yes, I think it's a terrific initiative. And I think that the Asset Management Council of Australia would like to support the Asset Management Society in India in whatever way we can. I think it's very important that you have a voice on the international stage, and we'll work with Professor Pai and yourself to help wherever we can.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Gibbs. So, Mr. Amar Singh, you have raised hand. Would you like to speak something as
No, I think
concluding remarks?
I think Professor Mandal has already said that what's the next sort of timeline. So certainly, as Anne said, we happy to support whatever that support required from our end to ensure that Asset Management Society in India is operative and is functioning. So that's what I was asking, saying we need sort of timeline so that everyone is prepared and everyone is ready to provide inputs. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. If Professor Pai would like to speak something, since he has.
Yeah, I think this has been a great beginning with the support from so many people, especially Professor Pathak and all the professors and senior industry people, Dr. Gopinath Chattopadhyay, Dr. Ann Davis, who have been supporting me all along, not only with the conference, but also with the constitution and constant prodding from Dr. Gopinath Chattopadhyay as to when you're going to start this and let us begin it. But of course, there were problems all over the world with COVID, and we couldn't do much during that time. But yes, Professor Pathak called me, I think sometime in February, at the end of February, he said we are having a conference in December in IIT Kharagpur, and we should have a panel discussion during that time. And he has not only promised, but he's kept up the promise. And then we made a beginning here. Thank you, Professor Pathak, for that. And we will certainly take the inputs from all the panelists today, and we'll come back to you. I think our emails will be shared by Ms. Sunita Mishra. I think you have our emails, and you can share it with today's panelists and participants over there, not only in the Zoom meeting, but also maybe the participants in YouTube and Facebook, so that people can contact us with their suggestions. And we will, as far as possible, we'll take everybody along, and we'll form a core committee, and of course, we'll have targets. The core committee will certainly sit together, at least for now online, but later on, yes, we may meet someplace. So thank you very much, everyone, and thanks for this great initiative. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Professor,
Professor Pai.
can I speak something?
Yeah. Please, Dr. Vora.
So, when Pathak sir called me, so I was about to go to the market to purchase some vegetables for the weekend. But this is more food than any food. So I'm happy that being an alumni of IIT Kharagpur, so Kharagpur has taken the initiative. So I'm very much proud of this moment. And the true slogan of dedicated to the service of nation is fruitful, and it will be made fruitful in near course of time. Thank you very much.
I wish to tell that I'm also an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So as a concluding remark, I would like to thank all of you, especially Professor Pathak, who brought this idea to conduct this post-webinar workshop on intelligent asset management. Yes, which of course we all agree that it is very, very important to do the asset management, or else we are incurring loss and we are not able to manage our asset, the physical asset and the human asset as well, as Professor Bhattacharya has mentioned. And thank you, Dr. Anne, for all the inputs from Asset Management Council Australia. Thank you, Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay, for all your inputs and views on this, Professor Aditya Parida, Professor Raghuvir Pai, and everyone else. Like I can take everyone's name, sir, please. From Mr. Tapan Jena, from Mr. Swami, Professor Ashutosh Sarkar, Professor Bora, Professor Jadeswar Maiti, Mr. Amar Singh, and I think, and Professor Mandal as well. BB Mandal. I hope I'm not missing anyone's name. And it was really a wonderful and very informative panel discussion, and it has laid a path for the future Asset Management Council of India. Hope we will be soon having a draft in which we will be having some guidelines which will be formulated soon, and we will be acting soon on that. And thanks to the Smart 2020 team which has made this webinar workshop happen. And thank you everyone, Professor Shantanu Patel, Professor Kaushik Dey, and Professor MP Dikshit for joining us here on board on dais. And at last, if Professor Pathak would like to speak something or thank everyone.
That's okay. Thanks a lot. Exactly, there could have been a lot of discussion, and this could have been extended some time, but I'm sorry, I'll have to now move to for another the engagements. Our Professor MP Dikshit is here, Professor Kaushik Dey is there. Definitely, they will be sending their opinion to Professor Raghuvir Pai. And then as we have fixed our timeline, that is in January, I hope that with January, with the formations and then process of registrations, soon Professor Pai will be declaring in association with Asset Management Council of Australia and the initiatives of Professor Gopi Chattopadhyay from Federation University Australia as our colleague, and with Lulia University Sweden with Professor, we will be soon declaring our one of the first ever move of maybe a one-day webinar or maybe a workshop or something that as you will wish, that will be there, and Professor Raghuvir Pai will be definitely doing it. Maybe though he is there at Manipal, I know that as an alumni his heart is here. So in our 70th year, when IIT Kharagpur is dedicated to the service of the nation, that is our motto, and let us try this. Through asset management, we will serve not only the nation, but also to the growth of knowledge and things across the world. With this, I...
Small thing. Today we had a group of around 30 people who we had a discussion. If you would like to invite some other delegates who would like to get involved in this asset management committee, we have this video on YouTube and Facebook, so they can go through this panel discussion and give their inputs. So I just wanted to say that you can get these links online and all the details of this panel discussion online of Smart 2020 as well. And we also like to thank our management team from our Center of Education Technology, who has helped us in streaming this online and documenting this panel discussion. So with this, I thank everyone, and hope to see you all in Smart 2021, which has been declared yesterday. And we hope we will have a big webinar of asset management as well in the near future.
Thank you. Our Smart 2020 was registered by 500 people, and with this, yesterday our HOD has declared that Smart 2021 will be there. Of course, we will be looking forward to the collaborations if any other institutions take place, or it will be here at Smart 2021 in coming December 2021. Let us look for that wherever this Smart 2021 or the Smart series go, Asset Management Society of Indian Asset Management Society also will be there along with that. With this note, with thanks and best wishes and a Merry Christmas, and wish you all a advanced Happy New Year, and hope that COVID-19 will be dying out and that our all vaccinations will be getting fruitful and it will become affordable to the poor people. We will be getting, maybe soon our Indian vaccine will be coming out that will be serving the poor nations of the world. That is what exactly, let us hope. With this note, thanks all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we invite you to come to New Zealand. That's the only country COVID-free now in the world.
Maybe that Smart 2021, maybe they are from New Zealand. We'll be looking forward to, maybe.
Yeah.
No, we started the America's Cup yesterday, so you're welcome to join us. Thank you. With that note, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'll have to rush to because I have got a lecture.